Hello everyone. Thanks for joining us in this episode number 20 of QnA series with Suresh GP. Today we are going to talk about an important topic called non-abstract large-scale design for site reliability engineers. Now, what is non-abstract large-scale design? As you know, SREs are focused on making sure that we design systems for scalability. So when we try to assess, design and evaluate large systems, we need to understand capacity planning, component isolation and graceful degradation that are crucial to highly available production systems. So if you think about starting to do resource planning with a basic whiteboard diagram, we need to start thinking about the scaling options. Remember, we talked about the horizontal scaling, vertical scaling, clustering, and look at the failure domains and design it into concrete estimates. Now, why is it called as non-abstract? As you know, all systems will eventually have to run on real computers in real data centers using real networks. So when you design distributed systems, we need to develop and continuously exercise your muscles of tuning a whiteboard design into concrete estimates of resources that can be established. Now, how do we do it? Broadly, there are two phases in what we apply this non-abstract large-scale design. Number one is the basic setup design and number two is scale-up design. Now, what do you mean by basic design process? When we establish the design elements, we focus on asking these two critical questions. Number one, is it possible? Is the design even possible if we don't worry about your RAM, CPU, network bandwidth? How would the design look like? Number two, can we do it better? Can we design systems that are faster, efficient, smaller, and more nimble to make it work? The second part of the phase is scale-up design. Once you complete your basic design, you ask these following questions. Number one, is it feasible? So is it possible to scale up the design of your system considering that you have constraints on money, hardware, software? How will the distributed design look like? Number two, is it resilient? Can you design failover gracefully? Can we look at component failures? Can we look at systemic failure on the data center? Number three, can we do it even more better? As you know, we design systems for, let's say, 50,000 users, then we move on to 100,000 users, or over a period of time, 1 million users. How can we design it better that it is able to scale up with the fluctuations in demand, load, and making sure it is sustainable? So, in summary, the non-abstract large-scale design is an opportunity for you as an SRE to design for your capacity, for your scalability, and also ensure if something fails, how can we make it much more resilient? So this is one of the critical skills that we also teach in our SRE practitioner course. So if you are looking at being a site reliability engineer, one of the core skills to acquire yourself is on the non-abstract large-scale design. I hope this episode was useful to understand the non-abstract large-scale design and what attributes you have to consider to make this an eventual exercise to implement as an SRE. Thanks so much for watching, and please click on the submit icon and then subscribe yourself for the future episodes. I look forward to seeing you in our next episode of the Q&A series with Suresh GP. Thank you very much.